Welcome to Lesson 3.4. In our previous lesson, we learned how to overlay the Bagua map onto a floor plan. In a perfect world, every home would be a perfect square or rectangle, filling up all 9 sectors of the grid evenly. But in the real world, architecture is rarely that simple. We live in L-shaped apartments, U-shaped houses, and homes with strange indentations and bump out. When you lay your square grid over these irregular shapes, you will immediately notice a problem. Some of the boxes on your grid will land on empty space outside of the walls. In feng shui, we call this a missing sector or a missing corner. This is one of the most common sources of anxiety for students. So today we are going to learn how to diagnose it and, more importantly, how to fix it. First, we must perform a diagnostic test to see if you actually have a missing corner or if you have something else called a projection. To do this, look at the wall where the irregularity occurs. Imagine drawing a line to complete the square of the house. If the missing piece, the empty space, is less than 50% of the length of that side, it is technically considered a projection or an extension. This is actually good luck. It means you have extra energy in that specific sector. However, if the missing piece is greater than 50% of the length, or if the house is an L shape, then the empty space is indeed a missing corner. This is what we need to address. Why is a missing corner a problem? Think of the Bagua as the body of your home. If you have a missing corner, it is like having a missing limb. The energy or ki cannot circulate into that part of your life. If your wealth corner is missing, you might find that you work incredibly hard but can never hold onto money. It just leaks away. If your relationship corner is missing, you might feel chronically lonely or find that partners never stay. If your health center is missing, the family might suffer from low vitality. The house is literally unable to support that specific aspiration because the container for that energy does not exist physically. But do not panic. In feng shui, there is a cure for everything. We do not need to build a new room to fix this. We just need to complete the energy circuit symbolically. We can do this from the inside or the outside. Let's start with the outside, which is the most effective method. If you live in a house with a yard, go to the spot where the corner of the house should be if the square were complete. You need to anchor this space. You can install a tall lamppost, plant a large tree, or place a heavy statue at that imaginary corner. By doing this, you are telling the energy the home extends to here. You are visually closing the square. If you live in an apartment or cannot modify the outside, we must cure it from the inside. The most common tool for this is a mirror. Go to the 2 walls that border the missing sector. Place mirrors on these walls facing into the room. When you look into the mirror, you see the room expanding backward into the missing space. The mirror creates virtual depth, tricking the eye and the ki into believing the room continues. If you cannot use mirrors, you can use a faceted crystal hanging in the window or corner nearest to the defect. The crystal disperses light and energy, pushing it out to fill the void. Your goal is to energetically stretch the walls to reclaim that missing slice of the pie. By applying these cures, you effectively stitch the energy field back together, ensuring that no part of your life is left unsupported. In our next and final lesson of this module, we will discuss the big 3 areas that you must prioritize above all others.